Hi. In this video we are going to show you how to work on the programming assignments. We show you how to download them, how to import them into Eclipse, how to test your code, and how to submit your solutions using SBT. Okay, so let's get started by going to the assignments page, and we open the Getting Started section, and we go to the instructions of the example assignment. So the first thing you need to do is installing all the required tools. How to do this is explained on the Tools Setup page. I will quickly show it to you. And for every operating system you can also have a screencast which shows you how to set up the tools. Since I already installed everything on this machine, I just go right into the assignment. So the first thing you need to do is download the assignment archive. Okay, we opened that file in the Explorer. And now I will extract the assignment archive into my home directory. So I right-click, select Extract All, and I will create a new directory in my home folder, which I will use for the programming assignments. So I go to my home directory, I create a new folder, I call it ProgFun Assignments. And I click Extract. So I close the Explorer window and go back to the assignment. And the first thing we are going to do is starting the Scala REPL inside the project that we just created. How you can do this is explained on the SBT tutorial website. So I open the SBT tutorial and I follow the instructions which are on this page. So I open a command prompt. I go to the directory of my assignment, so I go cd ProgFun Assignments, and then here I go cd example, since I am working on the example assignment, and I start SBT. Okay, once that the SBT console has loaded, you can from SBT start the Scala REPL using the console command. So you type console, hit enter, and then SBT will start the Scala REPL. Now we are in the Scala interpreter. Here you can type arbitrary Scala expression and they will be evaluated on the fly. For example, you can say println and pass a string. And the println command will be evaluated. That is how we recommend that you start the Scala interpreter during this class. In order to close the Scala interpreter and get back to the SBT console, you have to type Ctrl D. You will not see anything on the screen except that the Scala interpreter exits. Now we are back in the SBT shell. Okay, so now we will go back to the assignment. We close the SBT tutorial and we move down to the next step, which is opening the project in Eclipse. So you start up Eclipse. In my case, I have a shortcut on my desktop. And once you start Eclipse, you have to choose a workspace to work with. If you already created a workspace for our class, then you can just use that. Otherwise, you just create a new folder in your home directory and use that. So my workspace is a ProgFun workspace in my home directory. Okay, inside Eclipse, you can just import the project that you extracted in your home directory. You do this by going to File, Import, and in the General section you select Existing Project into Workspace. You go next and you browse to the directory where you unpacked the assignment. So we go to ProgFun Assignments and we accept the example folder, which is the project directory. Okay, we click Finish. And now we already have the source code imported into Eclipse. So we open up the project and in the source folder source main Scala, in the package example, you see the file lists.scala, which is the file that we actually have to work on during this assignment. Okay, so let's go back to the instructions. So the next assignment that you have to do is actually implementing the assignment. If you look at the code, there are two functions that need to be implemented, sum and max. Both functions are currently defined with a triple question mark, which means they are not yet implemented. Okay, in this case I will not do a real implementation, but just return 0 for both of them, which is obviously wrong, but I don't want to spoil the solution. So let's go back to the assignment. The next step is running your code. There are two ways to run your code. You can start a Scala REPL and use the functions that you just implemented in Eclipse in the Scala REPL. For that, we go to the command prompt. We go back to the Scala REPL by typing console. And now we have another look at the source code. So the two functions that we just implemented are defined in an object list, which in fact lives in package example. So if you want to use the functions, we have to either use the full name example.list.sum, or we can also import the members of this object into the REPL. In order to import it, we just type import example.lists._, which means everything. And now the two functions that we defined are available. So we can try them out. For instance, we can try the sum function and type sum of list of 1, 2, and 3. And we get 0 because obviously our implementation is not correct. Okay. Another way to run your code is using a main object. This is explained on the assignment page, and I will not go into details right now. The next part of the assignment is writing tests. So if you go to Eclipse, you see that there is a second source folder which is named source test Scala, and this directory contains tests for our code. In fact, we already give you a test suite for the lists object. If you open it up, you will see that the lists test suite is a whole tutorial on how to use Scala test, the tool that we are using for testing. It is really important that you work through this tutorial because we will be using testing a lot during all of our class. Okay, let's go back to the assignment. After you finished testing and everything is correct, you can submit your solution. In order to do that, you have to go back to SBT. Okay, so we open the command prompt and we see in fact we are still in the Scala shell right now. So we type Ctrl D and we are back in the SBT shell. Okay. Now to submit your solution, the SBT shell defines a command which is named submit. The submit command takes two arguments. The first one is your email address, the one that you used for registering on Coursera. The second argument to the submit command is your submission password. The submission password is not the password that you use for logging in. Instead, the submission password can be obtained at the course website. So we go to the course website and we scroll up and you have to go to the assignments page. On top of the assignment page, you see your username and your submission password. Again, this is not your login password. So we copy the submission password, we go back to the shell and we paste it. And now if you type enter, your solution will be packed and uploaded to Coursera. Finally, in order to see your grade, again you go to the Coursera website, you go to the assignment, and you look at the assignment that you just submitted. I already have a score because I submitted before. Note that you can submit the same assignment as often as you like. So if I click on the score, I will see the feedback that I received for earlier submissions that I did. So all the feedback below is for submissions that I did a few days ago. But you can also see that there is a new submission, which I did just right now, which has not yet been graded. Usually grading takes between 5 and 10 minutes.